Hello there, my fellow human beings. My name is Madeline, and today we are going to be talking about some issues surrounding the lesbian community, mainly lesbian erasure and lesbophobia. So, I would like to state here, first off, that I am a lesbian myself. I've never felt attraction towards men, and I have experienced men trying to turn me straight. That was something else. So, with that in mind, let's begin all of this. So, first off, what is a lesbian? Well, let's look it up real quick. The definition for a lesbian is a homosexual woman. That means a woman who likes other women and exclusively other women. Now, there are some people that are trying to spin this term into something new, which I don't know how you can spin a homosexual woman into something new. But anyways, so first off, bi lesbians, they're trying to spin the word lesbian into something new. If you don't know what bi lesbians are, according to the Urban Dictionary, it is a useless and harmful label for those women who are bisexual but prefer women. Why is this harmful, one might ask? It is harmful because bi means that you like more than one gender, while lesbians like women and exclusively women. Saying that you are a bi lesbian means that although you prefer women, you still are attracted to men and non-binary people, suggesting that lesbians like men, which they do not. The next thing that I want to talk about is people using lesbian as a comfort label. If you don't know what a comfort label is, it is a label that is used for just that, comfort. Well, isn't this a good thing? I can hear many asking. No, it's not. It feeds internalized lesbo, bi, trans, and homophobia. One example of this is that I used to identify as pansexual because I thought that one day I might be attracted to a man or to someone of any gender. Although my experience up to that point was I had only been attracted to girls and women. Now, this was my internalized lesbophobia talking, and although I've grown out of that and educated myself since then, there are so many others that don't use labels that mean what they are attracted to, and they use the labels that are harmful just because they feel comfortable with them. So how is this related to lesbians? Well, many people, specifically non-binary people, use lesbian as a comfort label instead of the label right for them. Even if you are a woman-aligned non-binary person, you still are not a binary woman, like trans and cis women are. This means that you get your own terms. Some non-binary loving woman terms are trixic or orsbian. A lot of non-binary people use lesbian because it is more well-known, but they are hurting lesbians in the process. Just like bi-lesbians, this suggests that lesbians have a choice and they don't exclusively love women, which is kind of the whole point of lesbian. Now, this next topic is the one that I feel the most strongly about, and for a couple of reasons. So the topic that we're going to be talking about is he, him lesbians, which if you don't know what it is people who identify as lesbians and use the pronouns he, him. Now, why is this wrong? First of all, pronouns equal gender. If they didn't, then we would just have one set of pronouns for everyone to keep things all nice and simple. Also, this argument that pronouns don't equal gender opens up a little pathway for transphobes to misgender a trans person and then just get away with it with the argument, oh, but pronouns don't equal gender. As I stated previously a bunch of times in this video already, a lesbian is a woman who loves women, because some people don't seem to realize that. And as a woman, the pronouns that would be used for lesbians are she, her. Not he, him, as a lesbian is not a man. Not they, them, as a lesbian is not a non-binary person. Another argument I see about this topic is that lesbians are separating from womanhood and that is why they use he, him pronouns. This is wrong on so many levels because first off, lesbians are diverging from what a stereotypical woman is like, not from womanhood altogether. They are still women. Lesbians are still women, no matter how masculine they are. Because you're basically, if you say that you're a he, him lesbian, you are basically calling butch lesbians men, and they are not men. They are women who dress masculinely. Another argument I hear is that he, him lesbians are historic. And a lot of you are using the wrong history. When being LGBT was illegal or taboo in America, One lesbian in a relationship would pretend to be a man in order to hold hands or to go on a date with their girlfriends. They were still women and they still identified as women, but in order to protect themselves and their girlfriends, they would use the pronouns he, him, and dress as a man. That is the history, not the other bullshit that people are bringing up. The next thing that I'm talking about is a huge problem in the LGBT community, and it is lesbian erasure. Considering that we are the first letter, you would think that we would be more visible. But we are not. Look up lesbian pride pins or lesbian pride apparel, and you will see more things for the plus people than for the lesbians. At the time that I looked this up, which is around June 24th, June 23rd maybe, I don't know the exact date, but it was all either rainbow pins or they them pins. And the rainbow flag is not the lesbian flag, that is the gay flag, not the lesbian one, first off. And second off, they them goes directly against lesbianism. So I don't know why that would be there too. Another area where lesbians are being erased in a big way is in the human and pride t-shirts and hats that are seen everywhere. If you've never seen them before, I'll put them on screen, but I'm pretty sure you have. It's basically the word human spelled out or the word pride spelled out with a different pride flag in each letter. The lesbian pride flag is nowhere to be found, but there is one for asexual and there is one for pan. Pan is the same as bi. Just saying, if you read the Bisexual Manifesto, you would know that. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that if you want that to be explained. And ace is not inherently LGBT, which is going to be a whole nother video. Some might say that lesbians are represented by the gay flag in this image, and no, we are not. That is the gay man flag, which is being robbed from them, by the way. It's being used as the community's flag, not as the specifically gay man flag. And I keep on specifying that it's gay man flag because a lot of people just take gay as lesbian, and oh my god, a bird just came up to my feeder. That is so not relevant to the topic, but I just thought I'd share that. Oh, cutie. Oh, that's cute. Okay. Okay, that got me off topic. But lesbians are being erased from the LGBT community in order for new identities that overlap with other ones that have been around for centuries. Again, I don't know how they're being erased from the LGBT community, considering that we are the first letter. So this next section is why gatekeeping the LGBT community is necessary. I'm going to state this in any future videos like this one. The LGBT community was not meant to be all-inclusive. It was meant to be for only lesbians, gays, bisexuals, trans men, and trans women. Those 5 things to have a safe place to go. It wasn't meant for a soft, non-dysphoric, omnisexual, panromantic demi-boy, woo, to complain about cis-hets on Tumblr. It's the same thing for the lesbian community. Lesbians are women, and it is a lesbian's job to keep it just for women who love other women. We cannot let a non-woman slip through the cracks here or there, because that will leave the door wide open for other non-women to slip in. Because of these he, him, and bi lesbians, the word lesbian is losing its meaning to the point where even trans men use it and don't feel dysphoric at all. Lesbian history revolves around the fight with the patriarchy. As by women and men alike, we are viewed as subhuman and not women. Our womanhood is denied. It took decades of fighting to even get our fellow straight women to believe that our womanhood is just as important as theirs. The word lesbian was used to make people conform with patriarchal standards. Like if you were acting too tomboyish or not like the perfect housewife, you were called this, and this was an insult that was used to try to oppress lesbians and cis-het women alike. Now non-women are trying to rewrite this history to fit them. Women will never suffer the way that non-women do. And non-women will never suffer the way that women do. So we can't go around and take each other's labels. We can't. We can't do that, period, at all. Because lesbians have worked decades and decades and decades to make the word lesbian not feel like a dirty word and to really define what it meant. And now these 12-year-olds on Tumblr are trying to rewrite that history by themselves to fit them into it, to fit their narrative into it. He, him, lesbians were not historic. Were never historic in the way that you think they were. They, them, and non-binary lesbians were disproven in the Lesbian Manifesto. And I don't want to hear that it's outdated. Attraction has been around for centuries, and we are just discovering it within the past couple decades or so. You can't try to rewrite it whenever you want. There's science behind it. You can't pretend like there's nothing there that tells you who you are. Because that is why people can't choose. You can't choose who you're attracted to. Okay, so that is it for today. As I said earlier, if you want me to do any LGBT related topics, comment them down below or talk to me on Twitter or Discord. Although I will get back to you sooner on Twitter than on Discord. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And to my lesbians out there, I love you. Be sure to drink some water. And overall, have an extraordinary day. Bye, sisters. No, I'm kidding. I'm never going to do that again. Bye.
Feels like driving down the